Welcome to Barbecue with Bibs. Today we're going to go ahead and do up some chicken thighs two ways. One, a little bit more intensive than just throw it on a barbecue backyard style. The other, we're going to go ahead and do up about what you would expect to see at a competition. We're going to go ahead and start off with some injection. For our injection, we're going to do some chicken broth. To that, we're going to add some adobo. We're going to add some pineapple juice. The enzyme that breaks down the meat gets eliminated when it's heated up and boiled. And then we're going to put a little bit of Jack Daniels in here. I saw it on sale down at the Walmart. Alrighty, so we're going to start off showing how to go ahead and work the more competition-focused chicken. And then we'll go through, run another round, this time with the more at-home style. So we got chicken thighs, bone in, skin on. We're going to start by taking these out. I got 2 packages. First package, we're going to do up like the competition. Second package, we're going to go ahead and do up a little easier. Alright, so for the competition style, step 1, we're going to take that skin. We're just going to peel it completely off. It'll be fun. Now we got some garden shears here. We're going to use these to just nip off that cartilage. And we're going to do that on both ends. Now don't throw this stuff away because this makes great chicken stock when you're done. Now we're going to lay it out flat. You'll notice we got a bunch of fat right here. We don't need the fat. And after that, we're kind of just going to edge everything up. Make sure that it's nice and square so that we are able to roll it in and make it a nice little pillow. Now, for the skin, this is the inside. We're going to lightly score it a little bit. We're not looking to cut through. We're just giving our knife somewhere to be able to start in on. Because we're going to just scrape any fat that comes off. And you can see it all right here. What this is going to do is this is going to help us make a nice bite through on the skin. We're going to plop the chicken down. And you can see we got more here than we really need. So we're just going to slice that off and throw it in with the chicken stock. Then we're just going to roll it up into the skin burrito. And there we go, a nice little burrito. Or a nice little pillow. Now, we're going to do this to all of them. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to go ahead and look through the seasoning process and injection process. Alright, so we got that done. I'm going to be frank. I really don't recommend this unless you were just looking for the perfect chicken thighs. Because out of that pack, here's my waste. And here's what made it. It's good, and I'm going to make chicken broth out of all that. So, unless you're planning on making chicken broth, it can be a little wasteful. I'll be okay, but just not really something that I recommend you go for right off the bat. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to more what I would consider backyard. You can see all the fat just coming off. There we go. We make that be gone. Now we lay this out over here. For this, instead of going through trying to get everything perfect, we're just going to look through, find the bits that are flopping off and vastly itty-bitty-fied, and lop those off. This is just to make sure that everything stays cooked at about the same rate. Then plop it on, roll her up, quicker and easier. Not quite as pretty because we're not sitting here taking all the time, trimming every last ounce, but gets the job done. Instead of breaking out the loppers, if something's going to be a little too uneven for me, like this one. This is way out here. I trimmed that down. But now I got this laying out. Instead of breaking out the limb lopper, I'm just going to roughly chop it off with a knife. And there you go. Same thing here on the sides. Trim it down to good enough even. Get rid of that big hunk of fat. There you go. Quick and easy. And again, you don't technically have to go through and scrape off the fat from here, but I've noticed before I started doing this, I'd have problems where you take a bite and you're just ripping the whole skin off with it. Nobody likes that. That is not fun. So, if it is this easy, like I said, I'm not trying to get every ounce off like I did on the competition one. But, by the way, this is not easy on your knives. Be prepared to sharpen your knives again. Instead of scraping all that off. There we go. This knife was sharp before I started this, by the way. Alrighty. And again, we're going with good enough for government work. So stretch her out. Take off any loose floppity bits. Lay her down. And roll her up. Now, yes, I am going to go through and re-roll all of these here in a bit, because we're going to go through and season inside and out. But I'm not going to make you watch as I do the rest of this. So, I'll be back with you in a minute. Alrighty, so now that we've got it all trimmed up, you'll notice I can unroll it from the skin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two different seasonings. On the inside of the skin, I'm using Old Hickory Pit's Cock-a-doodle-dooster. Just a quick and easy way to get a little extra chicken flavor in the chicken. And then on the outside of the chicken thigh itself, and on the outside of the skin, we're going to do a quick hit of Strawberries Grand Championship. Top and bottom. Throw it on here. Roll it back up again. Then dust the top. And this part is done. Alrighty, now to finish her off, I have that injection I showed you me making earlier. We're going to go ahead and just get that right on inside. We'll go underneath the skin. Go inside. And a little boop. You can see it overflowing. When you see it coming out, that means you know you put enough in that spot, and you'll go to another spot. Alright, I'm going to keep doing this to all of them. Alrighty, so after 24 hours in the fridge, letting everything get all nice and happy, they look a little sad. To fix that, we're going to hit it with a little bit more seasoning. Between that and some barbecue sauce that they're going to get later, this should come out really good. Alrighty, good morning. It is Easter Sunday for us here. And I've got a ham that's going to be going on. And we also have that chicken we're going to continue cooking. So give me just a second here. We'll get everything thrown on the smoker and get the cook going. Alrighty, we've got the competition trim. This we're going to put on the right-hand side of the grill. The backyard trim we're going to throw on the left. Hopefully. We'll see. It's a little chilly, so somebody feels like they have to go die.
I wasn't dying because of the cold.
Hold this, child.
Thankfully, apart.
Yep, somebody's still dying because of the cold.
No, I'm dying because my throat hurts.
Alrighty, we've got a meat on the grill. We're going to close her up, let her cook, and we'll come back, check on these things here in probably 20 minutes or so. Alrighty, so for the ham, we're going to do something pretty simple. Instead of using water to make the glaze for the ham, we're going to use pineapple juice. Normally, I go ahead and use a soda, but considering we're making the barbecue sauce for the chicken with the tanginess of pineapple juice, I figure this should go ahead and be a nice balance. Alright, don't tell Mama. We're going to slip some of this in too. And then we go ahead and throw in the seasoning packet for the glaze. Give her a mix. And we're going to go ahead and just boil off a little bit of that alcohol. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and make the barbecue sauce. We're going to start off with some Old Hickory Pits competition glaze. And some Jack Daniels. We'll finish it off. I like to cook with it. I don't like drinking it. Tamari. Pineapple juice. Some more barbecue rub. Same stuff you put on the chicken in the first place. Then we're going to finish her off with some brown sugar. We're going to bring this up to a simmer and let that get all homogeneous. Make sure everything's mixed in and seasoned right. And here in a bit, we'll get it added onto the chicken. Alrighty, so I just temp checked our chicken. It's coming in at a nice solid 150 degrees. So we're going to take her off, put her in this here half pan full of chicken stock, a little bit of our glaze, and butter. And it's going to go ahead and get a little braise on while it comes up to temp to where I want it to be. Alrighty, the ham is still a good like 40 degrees. The chicken, like I said, about 150. We're going to let this rock and roll till about 195, 200, somewhere around there. And then we'll take it out and hit it with the glaze and let everything tack up. Alrighty, let's go ahead, check and see how everything's doing so far. Ham is up to room temperature. Ham is up to room temperature. We'll take that. And then let's peel this back. Ooh, boy, that's smelling good. Let's check the temperature in here. I think the braising liquid is... Oh, I accidentally hit hold. That explains it. So, we're at 178. Not quite where I want it yet. Let's recheck here. Because I'd had it. Okay, yeah, we're above room temperature here. And then let's check. These are our competition style. We can see everything simmering. Alright, competition style is going to be good. Let me hand you off to my assistant. That's hot. You might want to use gloves. I have tongs. Tongs are good. Right, these are basically done at this point. I'm going to let them hang out up here, though, while these get up to snuff. What's going on is with this style of smoker, all the heat, the firebox is right here. All the heat's coming in here and having to rise up. So the competition style is taking all the heat. So these are where I want them. They're going to hang out here and be protected from heat by this. The ham, let's go look at another location. Let's flip the ham a little bit. That's what we're going to do. There we go. We flipped the ham so a different part is at the bottom. And my assistant and I are going to steal a taste. Assistant, what do you think?
Good.
You heard it here first, folk. It's Bob.
Good.
Alrighty. Our chicken is temping in at 195 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and bring it out of the pans. and we're going to brush these with our sauce. They're a little soft right now, and that is A-okay. Alrighty, so I got a big old batch of that glaze right here. You know, such a big honking barrel of it. We're going to put it on thick, and we're just going to let it tack up on here. I'm not going to make you watch me do all this, but... And here we go. This is looking pretty good. Alrighty, here it goes. It's nice and tacked up. You'll notice it's no longer trying to slip and fall off. So our chicken is done. This here's our backyard style. If my secondary assistant will run this inside for us. And here's our competition style. They wind up a little bit smaller, but what we sacrifice in yield, we make up for in that last little bit of easy to eat and yummy. We're going to go ahead and run these inside, let the ham finish up, and we'll come back out here in a bit to put the glaze on the ham. Alrighty, chicken is off and looking delicious. Here's the ham, glazed up beautifully. Let's get it all inside. And now I'm ready for Easter supper. Hope you guys have a lovely Easter. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day. Post-Easter Supper Bibs here. It really was good. Unless I'm actually being judged, I'm not going to do the full trim anymore. People will handle just a little bit of overcooked edges. That being said, no complaints, so we'll take it and keep on rolling.